Hello guys, welcome to Skyblock News. My name is Rich Royal, and today we'll be covering the Torrhus Canyon sneak peek that recently dropped on the Hypixel forums. I'll be linking the post in the description of this video. So, right here they mentioned that the Torrhus Canyon is going to be dropping on Alpha Network soon. The second forging island. It's part of the three forging islands that are connected. Well, the ring of forging islands, which is Galatea, Torrhus Canyon, and whatever is going to be the third one. It says right here, despite the temperatures, the ecosystem remains incredibly diverse. With the island housing dozens of different critter species that exist in relative harmony. So I assume there's going to be some level of combat that you can do with the critters, just because it says they don't live in complete harmony. Taurus Canyon will be unlocked at Heart of the Forest 4, which you can do through Galatea. Obviously, it'll be accessed by a launch pad just off of the Moonglade March at the far left corner of the island, relative to the portal. There will be chapters on release, which you access through Helia. During the eventual alpha session for this update, as they state, they'll be giving every player, well, players who obviously wish to answer, a set of questions to evaluate their experience with the chapters. Now, we're going to move on to the Taurus Springs. Now, obviously, this is going to be an underwater area. So, well, not entirely. So it says, located atop one of the highest points of the island, this is the best place for fishing of Taurus sea creatures and catching several unique critters that call the upper levels of the spring their home. If you are feeling particularly brave, you can even dive down into the springs themselves, which stretch some 100-something blocks downwards. As you get deeper, you'll find more exclusive critters, and perhaps even a hidden room or two. Obviously, to prepare for this, you'll want something like a flying fish that can boost Diver and Abyssal's armor stats, which does include pressure resistance. Obviously, you're going to want Abyssal or Diver's armor so you can go down as far as you need. And then the Scuba enchant, whatever. And then there's also the Shard on Galatea. I will check what it's called and put it in the description. But that also gives pressure resistance. And then Joy Dive is for respiration, since obviously you're going to want to be able to breathe underwater. 150 new attributes. Now, this is something that I am rather interested in, because 150 new attributes in Skyblock, these will affect pretty much every area of the game substantially and provide you with potent buffs. Some of the attributes will be obtainable right here in the Taurus Canyon. Their activities such as exploring the island, progressing through its collections, hunting critters, and killing sea creatures. Obviously, the Woodpecker Shard. This is actually pretty good. 1% chance to instantly cut down an entire tree. Now, obviously, I would assume that it's whenever you break a block. Not if it's based on the first block that you break of a tree, that's not going to be very good. I don't think the woodpecker. Obviously, it's an uncommon shard. It's not too powerful, but if this is per block you break, woodpecker is pretty good. This would be a must get for people who enjoy foraging. Other attributes may be obtainable from previously released content, which is nice. So you'll be able to go back to places like the Crimson Isle, or say, like even Spider's Den. There'll probably be some new shards you can grab, serving as new reward vectors and ways to make the content easier, less grindy overall. Passive aspects of the game, such as Greenhouse and Hoppity, have received a good chunk of attributes to enhance the experience. This is nice. An attribute that could, say, reduce the growth time or crop yield from specifically greenhouse crops would be rather interesting, and I'm also interested to see what kind of shards they make. Obviously, some bullet points for possible greenhouse shards would be mutation chance, yield, overbloom on greenhouse crops, sawdust on greenhouse crops, some other farming related stuff. And this is right here. And lastly, a sizable chunk of the critters introduced as part of this update, as well as their shards, will be found in an entirely new area that is completely distinct from the Taurus Canyon. As we see, there is the macaw shard right here, And it says max level grants a 0.1% chance to drop a rainbow feather when hunting a mob. Now, previously uh, on previous alphas, a rainbow feather was a pet consumable which you could apply to any pet, not a pet item, any pet that would give them a permanent plus 10 magic find. It's once per pet. It doesn't take the pet item slot, so it's more like the consumables that you get, like the Reaper Pepper from Inferno, but for pets. What do we mean when we say new area? Well, let's get a bit more into detail. We are getting a second island with this update. They haven't teased the name, they haven't teased anything else, whatever. But we're getting a second island. You may, so to quote it, you may recognize this screenshot of Torrhus Canyon that we shared recently as part of the game design Q&A. I didn't cover that because I wasn't thinking. I forgot. Moving on. We've seen a lot of theories as the purpose of the Parry the Blooms, and though none quite have been on the money as of yet, so it's time to come clean about a secret we've been keeping for a while now. Torrhus Canyon will not release alone. For the first time in Skyblock's release since, which is what, 2019? We're talking pre-COVID. It's been a hot minute since Skyblock released. 2 brand new islands will be added to the game at once. 2 brand new islands. Now, obviously, something that I'm worried about is a large swath of content. I don't know how big the second island is going to be. Is it going to be like Gold Mine or Lotus Atoll sized, or is it going to be like End Island sized? Are we getting essentially 2 2 Galateas in one update? Is that what's happening? I don't know. And the reason I'm showing concern about this is because they've been relatively consistent about not having bad updates, but there's been a couple times in the past, specifically Terra Tier 5, which have been pushed to the main server as a buggy mess, and where they have completely ignored, well, maybe not completely ignored, but they've chosen to not listen to community feedback on certain areas. And that causes a large portion of the update to be unfun or broken on release. And if there's 2 islands, that I feel like there's gonna be a lot of bugs. I really hope that it's perfectly fine. We get an alpha, the alpha say a couple weeks. It's 2 whole islands. I'm okay with that. The Galatea alpha was maybe 2 weeks. I don't know off the top of my head, but 2 whole islands. I believe the second one's gonna be a dedicated hunting island. That's what it seems like. Getting back to what we were talking about, I'll finish up on that later. Second island is in Ashwood Citadel, Luna Rise, which is the third foraging island that they mentioned, I believe, or anything else we've previously announced. It's something we've been working on in secrecy for a while now, though we wanted to keep most of it a surprise. We will say it is the game's first dedicated hunting island. I'm stupid. I should have read like 2 sentences down. Okay. Enjoy the Year 500 Century Celebration. We hope to see you hopping on the Alpha Network to test out this update soon. The team have worked brilliantly hard to develop. Team have worked brilliantly hard. Okay, sure. Cool. To develop these islands simultaneously, and we're incredibly excited to show them off. So, a dedicated hunting island. Obviously, what this is going to entail is a lot of critters. Obviously, the bestiaries, that's going to be fun. But in terms of preparation, obviously, you're going to want to do the hunting shards. So that's Cayman. Let's see. If it's a dedicated hunting island, you're going to want the turbo fishing net. You're going to want to max your existing hunt traps. So get the prime hunt traps, I believe they're called. Or, no, it's the astral hunt traps. That's the legendary ones. You're going to want a max hunt axe and a lasso. The scaffolding is mostly for forging. I don't think anyone really cares about that. I don't think I've seen anyone use it either. Pocket black hole. Obviously, you're going to want to get the medium one. That, I believe, is going to get an upgrade. Let's be honest, it's called the medium. We're getting a dedicated hunting island, so it's more likely that we're going to get at least one upgrade to the black hole, so you're going to want to get that medium. Um, in terms of what else, you're going to want to start stocking up on fusion shards, obviously, because there's going to be 150 new shards. You're going to want to bank of those, save a bit of time, most likely, especially for those harder critters to get, or some of the harder fusions. You're going to want to start working on those now. Most likely, what I'm thinking is if it's a dedicated hunting island, we're going to get woodland, shards, reptile, and um, hmm, woodland, reptile, and then water. Those are the most likely. I don't see us getting too many new combat shards, so unless there's fusions on those, then I wouldn't do anything on that. Obviously, I would wait to the alpha to see if there's anything you really want to grind. And it seems like the alpha is going to be coming in these next couple weeks, as it says, um, say it's going to be hitting the alpha network soon. Obviously, take that with a grain of salt. This is the Hypixel admins we are talking about. We don't know how soon is. But yeah, gather together your foraging and hunting stuff. In terms of hunting prep, there aren't too many hunting shards. There's Bambloom, and then obviously, if you really want to do that, if you really want to delve into shards, there's Starborn and other shards. You're going to want max Fig Armor, and then the Fig Stone Splitter reforged to Moonglade, because that is the best reforge we have currently. Um, if you have the opportunity, get citrine gemstones. Fine or flawless works. Perfect isn't really needed. The bonus is minimal. Um, on all your gear, if you can, you're going to want to get your David's Cloak up to Mythic, best case scenario. The Mangrove gear will probably be upgraded or have an alternative. I would get it anyways, just in case. You're going to want to get a frog pet, or if you have the money, a jade dragon. I don't see them usurping the jade dragon in terms of how useful it is. It's a dragon pet that's likely intended to be the best in slot pet for the foraging skill. So, all in all, I'm very excited. I'm going to do a full alpha video, assuming I have the time. Maybe I'll stream, who knows. But that is it for today. Thank you all for watching, and hope you have a great day.